This Lens Bonanza is sponsored by Squarespace, the best place for setting up your own website or online store. Sometimes Christmas wishes do come true. I'm not talking about the kids because this year Daddy has gone to Poundland. But this, let me show you. Here we are. Whoa. What we have here is all 73 FE and E mount lenses.
Oh, that's 72.
Oh yeah.
Of course I'm using one.
Right there, okay. But that's fine. We've got 72 lenses here and an extra one which Locke is using. Never, ever have I seen this many Sony lenses in one room before. Look at that. It's fun. Let's just do this. But we have limited time, Locke. We've only got about 4 hours to test all of these 73 lenses. So which one shall we start off with first? Standard lens. I've got to pick them out first. Let me get a list. I've got a list on my phone.
I mean, even for standard lens, it could be one over here and one over there, because 50, it could be 1.4 and then another one is, don't know.
Well, the thing is, they're not arranged in any kind of focal length order. So we've got 3, let's do the 50mm first.
But why are we doing this? Because of an anniversary or something?
Yeah, oh yeah. My wedding anniversary. No? Birthday? Oh yeah, oh of course. It's Sony's 10-year anniversary since they introduced, not this, because this is very new, this is the A7R5, since they introduced the A7 series.
Yeah.
Boom. We can use the video, can't we?
The A7 was probably the first Sony camera that we were impressed at that time. Yeah. Before that, we always joke about Sony cameras.
But anyway, we don't have much time. We've got the 51.4. This is the ZA, which is old school. And these are quite weighty lenses. This was back when they was first getting started with full frame mirrorless. 51.4.
Aperture range.
I mean, you can de-click it as well, so it's not like it's okay. They weren't thinking about video. They were already thinking about it back then. It's actually a very well put together lens. It's metal. Newer lenses are lighter in weight and they're better balanced, I think, because these older lenses are a little bit fatter.
And they scratch really easily. Before that, these metal lens looks really cool, but they scratch. And these are just cool in a way that is practical.
I mean, as much as we'd like to think that, okay, metal is better than plastic, it's more durable and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if you're buying a mirrorless camera, you want lightweight, and the metal is not it. And I think with Sony's latest lenses, they've all gone for more compact and lightweight, which is a good thing. I mean, the field size, the old one is 72, this one's 67, so it's narrower.
So both of them 1.4.
Both 1.4. Anyway, no time, we've got to take photos. When you buy standard, what do you care about? You care about the bokeh. Let's go bokeh. Oh, look at that. Oh, Christmas tree. It looks good though. It looks great. I mean, if you're looking for a 51.4, you can get these for quite a good price. And compare that to the 51.4 latest one. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose. At the end of the day, we're just gonna have caps missing here and there, everywhere. For me, the new lens is more about the ergonomics and the feel and the weight. I mean, when you compare the 1.2, the similar size and weight to the 51.4 ZA, the old one. In fact, it's the same filter size. So you've got handed to Sony for trying to do something with the lenses when they introduce new lenses. I mean, back in the days when you're using DSLRs, the 51.4 is it's like, okay, it's quite tiny. You know, that's acceptable for a 51.4.
Sure, the Sony 50mm f1.4 G Master is more expensive than those old 51.4s of the DSLR days, but this is actually very good at f1.4, both in terms of sharpness and the bokeh, which I find quite hard to fault.
Bokeh. And I find that the bokeh on the new lens are really nice. I think the ZAs are great as well.
I think a lot of these new lenses, they actually design for bokeh.
Yes. And we're talking about bokeh, the 51.2 is a bit saucy really. And all of the new lenses, you know, they've got the aperture rings as well, just like the Zeiss, the ZAs.
Yeah.
We like that. So the 51.2, even though it's polycarbonate, whatever you want to call it, posh plastic, you know, solid enough. when you buy that expensive 1.2 lens, you find yourself trying to get the bokeh. That's what I did when I bought my first, 1.2. It's like, okay,
Everything 1.2.
let's take a lens cap photo. Oh, look at that bokeh.
And oh my, do check out that bokeh. The 1.2 GM is an amazing lens, but it's 50% more money than the 1.4 GM. It's all about that subtle extra bokeh-liciousness, and if you don't notice it, get the 1.4 GM. The ZA doesn't make sense new, only get one used. It still produced nice results, it's just fatter and slower to focus.
Amazing thing with the 51.2 is that it's actually very good at 1.2. When it comes to sharpness. What else we got? FE, it's an FE. Okay, macro. Why am I holding this? It's new lens, pinhole. I like macro, but I don't really own many macro lenses, just because it's very niche. You only use it every now and then, and I'm not the kind of person that goes up flowers and takes pictures of butterflies and stuff like that. But there we are. I mean, we don't have any butterflies here. We've got a lot of lenses to take photos of. I mean, we can take photos of. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Oh, saucy. This feels like an old lens, isn't it? You can see it.
For crop macro, there's this, but it's great.
I can hear it as well.
Yeah,
I can hear the focusing.
Well, I mean, obviously focusing on macro lenses are not that quick anyway, but maybe we should set up a little studio test scene. DP Review's got their test scene.
See, this is basically the same. This is
Yeah, exactly.
The same as DP Review. Yeah.
What do you need?
We can do that.
Exactly.
Same.
Colour and
Exactly the same.
colour. Fred's detail. The banknote. Oh, well, that's my book. How'd that get there? Anyway, my book's there in English and Chinese in all good major bookshops.
Collect them all.
Collect them all. Learn Chinese. That's from when Locke bought a waterfall.
And this is our favorite food.
Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned, but that's my book there, available in English and Chinese.
Oh, this is my play button.
Wow,
I forgot to mention
everybody's
that.
got one of those.
This macro lens is pretty damn sharp, it's just that the AF is pretty damn poor. This lens is in need of a major update, and it's the same problem with this next lens.
Now this is the FE 50mm 1.8. This is quite an affordable option, let's put it that way.
Poor AF, but great optics for sharp shots even wide open, not to be confused with the APS-C 50mm 1.8.
Probably nobody's going to buy these because these are really old and ancient.
That's really
I mean, you can see that.
This one.
I need to anti-back my hands now.
Or the Sony Zeiss 55mm 1.8, which was launched with the original A7 cameras yonks ago in 2013. It's a fantastic lens, and if you find one for a good price, it's worth a pop, just because the images are quite fantastic wide open. Unfortunately, they're still a bit more expensive than the FE 50mm f1.8. For a bargain crop 50 a quiv, here you go, it's alright.
This is the nifty 50 in mirrorless form, which means I don't want it. I mean, for some reason.
But it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, I've got no beef against it. It's totally fine. But if you want it, it's a lens cap. That's fine. If you want small and lightweight, this is the one to go for because this is a nice size, and they've even managed to put an aperture ring on it.
Yeah.
And you can even declick it. And look, there's like customizable buttons, and there's an AF, MF switch down there. I mean, the only thing is that it doesn't go to 1.8 like that lens. This is 2.5 maximum. I like it, I really like it. I just thought that was funny. It's got a special hood on it, in that it doesn't kind of protrude outwards. It goes inwards. Lens cap. I'm trapped, I'm imprisoned.
It just looks good on the camera.
It does.
It just fits the whole size.
I mean, lenses shouldn't be about, okay, they look cool, they look nice. But it looks nice, it's a perfect fit. You can see the difference in depth of field.
Before we carry on with the lens fiddling, a quick sponsored shout out. For setting up websites you needn't fiddle about much because Squarespace will sort you out with their simple to use interface, 24/7 customer service and plethora of templates to get your site up super quick. Click the link below to get a 14-day free trial and 10% off your first order.
Let's put the caps on. This is the cap over there, didn't I? I think it was like that. Oh no, it says ice on it, so it must be for that. No, Locke, it's a disaster. And we've only just started. We still haven't done these ones yet. We still haven't done. Let's put them Let's, God. When you think 50, you either go 50 or you go 35. So let's go 35. How many 35 lenses are? Oh shit! Christ. Hang on, let me check my wife's message first. 35 2.8 ZA. That should be over here. It's a very tiny lens.
No, that's adapter. I mean, teleconverter. I think this is
Fisheye converter.
Fisheye converter.
Wow. Okay, it must be. There's this one. Okay, let's. This is the 35 corner. It's 50. That's one of them. How many we've got? Two. This is like some game show or something. I'm like on the Crystal Maze or something. Oh, 1 hour gone. Oh no, lock. This is a disaster.
Annoyingly, we put them all upside down as well. Like,
Well, that's. I think because we started off with the tele lenses, but
Yeah,
I must say it wasn't my idea because you put that down first. So I thought I'll just follow you. So we have to do this. Let me do the 40 as well, because we can't just have a category of 40s. There's only one 40mm lens. Okay, here we are. Might as well start off with the oldest and the lens that I know well. This is very good condition actually, because my 35, when you just start using it, as you said, the ZAs, the Zeiss lenses, the finishing just comes off.
yeah.
You just look at it and the finishing comes off. It's like, oh, you've used this lens a lot. No, I looked at it. So it's got declicking. There we are. Focus down 30 centimeters. Again, you're probably just going to buy these kind of lenses to use wide open. And that's what you want to know. Is it good wide open? And I would say yes, as long as you buy a good copy of this. But it is big. Look at that. I mean, they've got a 35 1.4, the modern one. Look at that. The difference is even more significant than 50 1.4. The GM is fantastic. I mean, of course, you can get this for quite a good bargain. And the bokeh is nice. It is very nice. If you plan on using it for a long time, you might as well just buy the Sony. Bokeh. There's more bokeh balls over that side.
To put it simply, the GM is better in every aspect, apart from the plastic filter threads, because they're plastic, obviously.
Okay, it's not just the Zeiss lenses. It's just the old Sony lenses. Look at the finishing on that. This is sort of like before and after. This is what happens when you look at it. These stickers must mean something. This must mean, oh, they've kept this in a kind of a, environment where there's no dust
Vacuum.
or humidity. It's a nice size, nice weight. 55mm filter thread, and 1.8, which is a little bit slower. But this is great. I mean, if you're taking street photos, I think it's nice to have a smaller lens like this. You don't get shallow depth of field really at 35, but really 1.4 is not that shallow anyway, so if you're going to be shooting in daylight, this is quite a good lens to use.
It's kind of reasonably priced. New, it's similar to a used 35 1.4 ZA. For a bargain 35, there's another oldie but goldie.
And this is, wow, this is probably one of the first
Yeah.
lenses tested.
This is a good looking lens as
Yeah,
well.
it's nice and squat. You know, I like this lens from the start. It's just that it's not that cheap. Probably because they have to send some money to Zeiss for that little blue badge on the side. It's a 2.8, so it's slower than one I had just now. Okay, it's a bit more squat.
It looked even better on the original A7 because the original A7 is more square off. The camera is a little bit smaller than this. So it fit that really nicely.
For 35mm, money no object, I'll take the 35mm 1.4 GM. Money nowhere, used 35mm f2.8.
Getting a little bit tighter, I think this is a fantastic lens. This is, if you can't decide between 50 or 35, this is the one to go for.
Yeah,
40mm.
after the GR, I'm quite like 40mm.
Yeah, oh, there you go. It just feels right. If you like 35, then you'll be fine with it. Same, if you like 50, it's like, oh, there's a bit of room here. It doesn't feel like it's gone all the way to 35, where it's just, oh, there's too much things to deal with. It's not, it just, everything feels right with a 40. You probably get a little bit more shallow depth of field with this, but this is only a 2.5, so in theory you could have got shallow depth of field more than the 35, that is. It's 2.5. It's a 2.5, bruh.
I like these because they're seriously compact full frame lenses, but Sony has compact crop lenses too.
That's so cute, look at that. There's a greater depth than the lens. That's tiny. It is cropped. Oh. Pulling up to my eye, there's no viewfinder on FX30. Yeah, okay, let's take photos. The great thing with FX30 is that there's no shutter sound.
It's a neat compact lens for crop, but everything else about it is, although decent enough, is pretty unremarkable.
Okay, now we're going for the slightly wider than 35. I've got the 24, which is the go in between the 20 and the 28, because I've just picked out 20 through to 28. For a 24, that goes to 1.4. Let's take this mic off. Oh, it keeps ending up on my camera. 24, 1.4. That's a compact lens. It's probably smaller than 35, 1.4 Zeiss. Look at that. A 67mm filter bed, so it's the same size as the G Master 35. It's handy. It's just a fantastic lens. It's just a great lens. You know what? I can forgive it for being a 24. I like this a lot.
The really annoying thing about a lot of the modern Sony lenses is that there just aren't any bad things to say about them. I want to kick this 24mm a new a-hole, but it's just super sharp edge to edge and is low on distortion. That's all you need in a 24mm.
So that's a 24. You could go wider. This is a 20. This might not be a G Master, but look, this is the same filter thread. Slightly shorter. It's shorter. It's a wide lens. It's just fantastic. Whether you want to use it for vlogging, I can't be bothered to put a mic on again, but you know, it should be plenty wide. But given a choice, I would opt for that one.
Yeah.
Because also for vlogging, 24 is a bit too tight, especially when you put the active stabilization on. A lot of these images are going to look very same, but it's not like we can go anywhere. We've just got the space.
Control environment.
Yes.
Just to keep things fresh, here's some images of someone other than Locke. The point is still the same. I think the 24mm GM is great, but I like this even more. Optically just as good, but if you're going wide, you might as well go wider than 24. Another good option would be Zeiss's Betise 18mm, which I really, really like. But I sold it and regretted it. Slapped myself in the face.
Going back to 24, this is like with the 40mm, it's the same kind of series. If you like it compact, very compact and small, these are it.
I like
Yeah. Same filter thread as well, 49. And there's another one, I think that's backwards. Yeah, it's a 50. I just did it, didn't I? 50, 49mm, same filter thread. But it doesn't make sense to get all three of those because the 40 and 50 are very similar. The 40, I'll just get a 40 and a 24. Because also you can use these on crop, that would be a 60, just like a tight standard, and a 24 works out, you know, almost like that was like 35. But this is a great size. And just like the other lenses, it managed to fit an aperture ring on it. Declick that in a minute. It's so cool, not cheap. I mean, when you look at it, you think, oh, that's gonna be a cheap lens. It's not incredibly cheap, but it's a Sony.
It's a G lens.
Yes, it's not quite GM, but G sounds good. It's half of GM, so therefore it's probably half the price, maybe, I don't know. This is the FE28. Previously I liked this lens a lot, because it's just small and lightweight.
It's one of those pre-G Sony lens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can pretty much just tell the age of the lens by the finish.
Yeah.
Somebody's breathed on that and the coating's fallen off.
Good enough performance, but it could do with a massive makeover. I really like this focal length, but there's just only one choice. So I hope they can GMify it or make it a smaller, compacted version with faster AF.
And then the crop, you know what, I'll just use on the same body. It'll crop by itself, won't it? But this focuses all the way to 16 centimeters. When you think about the other ones, 24, 2.8G, that's 24 centimeters. 28.2 is 29 centimeters. 28, that focus is quite close. That's 19 centimeters. 24 1.4 GM is 24 centimeters. God, I feel like I'm reading out some football scores or something like that. Or stock market information. So this is very close, very, very close.
For a crop-only lens, this is your only 35mm equivalent option. I doubt they'll bother updating it, but thankfully, the full-frame 24mm options are excellent lenses that aren't too large on the crop body.
So I'm trying to move them in some kind of order now. Let's put the 35s on this side. We're going to have a nightmare at the end of the day with all these lens caps. Okay.
Not our problem.
No, yeah, we'll just leave it. See ya.
All I'm thinking now is all the editing and
Yeah, that is your problem.
the photos is your problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's face it though. I think your problem is a bit worse. Might as well start off with this bad boy, 14mm. That is wide, and f1.8. That is quite fast for that wide as well. You know, that's quite a decent size. That's what Sony should be given credit for, is managing to do all of that wideness and fastness in a package like that. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's a great lens for showing all these lenses.
I really can't say any bad things about this lens. I just love it. To be this wide, this fast, and yet reasonably sized, it's impressive. Not many lenses around like it. Again, if anything, it's that it is plastic, but plastic fantastic.
I mean, we've got these, I'm putting these in this ultra-wide category, but these are crop lenses. Let me just, I can't be bothered to put on FX30. It's not that wide, like a 16mm is a 24. Look at that. That brings us back to those days when we're still working digital web TV.
Yeah.
And we, you know, poke fun out of Sony products. Yeah. The only problem is, we've got this shitty lens. And really it's not ultra wide.
And that lens on NEX was really big. I mean, those NEX were tiny. And then with that lens.
They had kind of the grip was the thing that really stuck out, but I think you needed to because they were really thin.
What also sticks out is how atrocious this lens is. Don't bother with it.
And then this 15mm, which is not that much wider. Still, I mean, this is one of the more modern ones. This is what I like. Is, you know, I used FX30 because it's compact. Okay, it's not full frame, you won't get that shallow depth of field, but the whole purpose of that is that's nice, compact, tidy setup. And these are the kind of lenses that I'd pick for it. A little bit wider than that. And this is full frame.
It's an amazing lens to have for crop. Fast and compact is just not all that cheap. So whether you want to invest so much in a pricey crop-only lens is the question you should be asking yourself.
This doesn't have a G on it, so this is probably more economical. But if you want wide for crop, this is it. You know, 1.8, that's not bad. In fact, that's really good. I don't know why I don't have that. That's really cool. It focuses down to 15 centimeters as well. Even closer still.
Oh, this camera, this lens can't do it. The lens I'm using can't do it.
Why is it not gone on crop? It's got all fisheye. For some reason.
So you can't find this lens on the web?
Yeah.
On the Sony website?
I mean, I thought that I was pretty detailed when it comes to getting all of the lens informations down. This, I didn't write down 11mm.
And then another camera can't even recognize it. It's a crop lens.
It's on the APS-C Super 35. It's on auto. So you'd think it's Sony lens, but for some reason it's like that. It's the mysterious lens. It's there. It's on the Sony website, but for some reason when I go to the product pages and you filter out zoom and primes, I couldn't find it. But anyway, 11mm. Yeah, that's surprisingly good. That's because I didn't test it, so I've not. In fact, I haven't tested many of the crop sensor lenses. That's the ultra wides, but perhaps the reason why there's not so many ultra wides is, I feel it anyway. If you're going to go ultra wide, you're pretty much stuck when you go prime. you're not necessarily going to get right up close, or sometimes it will just feel too far away, so you can't always get close enough, which is why there's ultra wide zooms.
Which we'll cover in part 2, otherwise it'd be a long ass video, along with tele lenses, tele zooms and other stuff. And I'll discuss my favourite Sony lens of all time, which is great news unless you aren't a Sony user or you couldn't care less about what I think, in which case, amazed you made it this far into this video. Anyway, thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos that are so long that we had to split them into. Bye!